Hi friends, I'm real cozy with this one. Okay. Um this is going to be really quick. My apologies for missing last week. Life goes on. I'm going to try and drop two, and I'm thinking of doing like some story times cuz I've lived a full life, and I feel like sometimes the only way to express what's going on is through a story, and I feel like that's what I do best at times. However, today I want to say no. No is a full statement. No is a full closed statement. With a no, I don't need to say anything else. I don't need if I say no to something, it's a no. I don't need to be manipulated into saying yes. I don't need more reasoning or explanations. It's just a no. Especially if it's for me to do something, right? So let me tell you what's going on. All right, and this is going to be one of the first stories I do tell. Right? So I get a phone call from my mama, my Jamaican, Caribbean, old school Pentecostal mommy, right? I get a phone call from my mom randomly. Is I think it was probably like last week or something, right? And I'm gonna change some names, so whatever, because my family mostly watches my videos. But I get a phone call from my mom, and I'm gonna speak a little patois. If you don't know, I'll probably add some explanations in the end, but I get really into it. So, phone call from my mommy. She called me and is like, Cammy, I have a favor for beg you. Once you hear somebody say I have a favor, you really immediately my brain, the everything, the gears and everything is working. It's just like, I don't. It's already starting on a negative, right? She has a favor for me, which is actually for someone else. She calls me and is like, your auntie, I'm just gonna say auntie. Your auntie, she has a play. She has to write a play, and it's needed by tomorrow. Mind you, she's calling me on Thursday. The play is needed by Friday. Mind you, she's not even calling me early in the morning on Thursday. She's calling me at like 4 p.m. on a Thursday, telling me that my auntie says she need her play done tomorrow, and she don't even like. My mom then gets into. She says, "Cammy, me beg you a favor. Your auntie she have a play due tomorrow," and before she even gets that out, I'm like, no. No, because I already know where it's going. She's asking me, say, you think you have the time? Yeah, you think you have the time to write it for? She need it for tomorrow. I'm like, a play, mind you. I do have a creative writing degree. I This is something that I'm savvy in. This is something that I've done when I was probably like 7 or 8, 6 or 7. But when I was like 7 or 8, I wrote a play for my church for us to do. They didn't end up doing it. They said this was too much work. Dropped it, right? Haven't thought about that. I've written screen scripts, screenplays, all those types of stuff. So, however, 24 less than 24-hour turnaround immediately, no. So now the moment she dip on the phone, and as Caribbean parents do, they will try to guilt trip you. They try to guilt trip you into doing something that they want you to do. So she telling me, said, all right, so, mind you, I already told her no. She's like, yeah, it's due. She said she need it for tomorrow. It is based on this scripture. Mind you, I don't even personally know that scripture. She telling me the story of the scripture, and I'm like, I'm just the gears again are working in my head. Like, I'm gonna have to now read this chapter, decipher the chapter, get the whole total message. I'm like, what I can do in this situation, the best thing I can do in this situation is tell her for put it in a chat GPT and then render an outcome. Personally, as someone who has lectured and done AI ethics and my graduate school the whole thing was based on like AI and blackness and black identity and autonomy between physical autonomy as a black person versus like autonomy, like autonomous AI, and how like those search engines render Black people in itself. Even though I am against that, I've done panels, I've done discussions, I've done writing on that about it. I'm just like, for my sake, put it in a chat and let chat render whatever, and whatever, because I'm not doing it personally. And I feel like, no, I said no probably 30 times in that conversation with my mom, and she just kept bringing up more points like I'm gonna change my mind. But then I realized, like, I started to feel bad after I hung up the phone, hung up the conversation. We finished the conversation. I was feeling bad a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I never really tell my mom no. I'd never tell my mom no. I would never tell her no, ever. If she asks me for anything, I'm very quick to do it. However, I realize I'm turning 25 this year. Like, I'm a full blown adult, not even a little picket little adult. Not no 18, 19, 21. 21 I feel like is a little baby adult. I'm turning 25. Like, that's big grown. That's like, girl, if you want house, kids, family, 25 is like that number for me. It's like that's a grown. I could say no. Like, there was so much guilt around no. There's so much guilt around me just expressing my feelings, like me not doing things, like me doing things that I want to do and not doing things I don't want to do. I can get up and I could leave. I can get up and I'm a big thing for me my whole life is just autonomy. Like, that's things that I study. That's the whole concept. I love the freedom. I love freedom, being able, like, I'm finally, as a 24-year-old, like, this is probably maybe year one or two of me actually being free. Like, and it's crazy to say that, but like, not depending on anyone else's like point of view, or like just having to do what someone else tells you to do. Like, you grow up your whole life under your parents, your grandparents, your people above you, right? Your guardians. And it's never like like a graduation of sorts of like, I can make my own decisions, I can do what I want. Because for a long time of my life, I just been getting my ass whooped. Not even like in the sense of like physical beatings, because there were plenty of those, but like by life. Like, I felt like if I didn't, I had this guilt around not choosing for myself. Like, indecisiveness has been a really big thing for me. Even in the last video, talking about like having discipline, um, yeah, being more disciplined and like doing things a certain way. But like, bro, half of this stuff is not that deep. Like, I used to think like when I first started grad school, I was 20. So I graduated last year. I was like 21, I think. 21, 22. The math isn't mathing for me right now. But when I started grad school, I was kind of like, the first time I moved to New York, I was really isolated. Like, it was just me, like, by myself. It wasn't the first time I did that, but like for that extended period, I I worked, I made my own money, I had my own apartment. I had like, there was things that I did that made my brain work, Like, I realized that in order to grow, you really have to like separate yourself from, what you were used to, like where you've been, like. And even more, I was having this conversation with my boyfriend about just like, not, I don't know what's next, like not knowing what's next, and kind of like being open to what's next. Like, we're talking about like America. Do we want to stay in America? Like, is like, you know, having a family or building a family, like what would you want to, like where would you want to be, where you want to go, like. And it's so open in the sense of we can really go anywhere. If I really wanted to, my brother was just in Thailand. I could hop over Thailand and live a really good life. I could. My sister is a. I don't know if you're not astrology people, just ignore it. But she's a Capricorn stellium girly. Like, she is like dominated by Capricorn in her birth chart. Like, I think her moon. rising something like she got hella planets in Capricorn. She's always telling me to start a business, and she wants me to start a business so bad. And she's just like, you could go so far. Like, her belief in me is what's pushing me, but at the same time I'm like, no. And like, no is a full statement. It's a full sentence. Like, if that's not something that I want to do, I don't have to do it. Point blank, period. And that's like, you could say no. Like, it's okay to say no. And I used to get so guilty about saying no, but now when I say no, I feel good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I enjoy saying no. I enjoy, if I'm not enjoying something, I can get up and leave. I have my own car. Like, I have the ability. I can use all of my limbs. I can use, like, I have my brain. I have all of my facilities. Like, thank God for that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to feel guilty about doing something or not doing something that I want to do or I don't want to do. And that's fine. Like, it's completely okay to just make decisions that based on how you feel. And I think for the longest time, especially as a black woman, we were raised and we were kind of like, we were raised to people please. We were raised to be caretakers. I've been taking care of people my whole entire life. I've been an aunt since I was 3 years old. 3. I've been changing diapers since about 6 or 7, like, literally. The kids don't like it no more. My nephew actually told me, he just turned 9 like 2 weeks ago. But he just told me, he's like, kids still do 6, 7? Like, wow, that's old. That's so last year. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm old head. I guess I'm unk. But like, all that to say, life is legit what you make it. And like, not even to be like corny or like one of those inspirational quotes. My mom has a sign that says, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. Yes, clap for the heavyweight champ, me, but I couldn't do it all alone. We. It didn't say the whole thing, it just said, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. However, all that to say, back to my point of all of this, it's okay to say no. And even if people keep trying to get you to say yes, say no 30 times. Then that's a paragraph, because no is a full statement. 30 no's, that's a paragraph, okay? No, 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 no. And don't feel bad about it either. Don't feel guilt over things you're not guilty. So don't feel guilty. All right? Hope you have a good one. Next story time, I don't know what it'll be about, but I think I might just start dropping them daily. Hope you have a good one. Peace. Cameo out.